What's up everyone, John from ARTV. It's time for a review of the debut album from DJ Dillon Francis. It's called Money Sucks, Friends Rule. Something that I think is very true, and an album title that just kind of caught me because I liked it so much. And I don't want to say that's entirely what made me check it out, because I love the single Get Low that was released back in February, but the album definitely had something that hooked me and made me keep remembering and thinking about this record. Of course, there's a lot of other great features on this album. We've got the Chain Gang of 1974 on here, we've got Twista, and of course we have Brendon Urie from Panic at the Disco. There's only 2 tracks on this album that Dillon handled entirely by himself, and those being Not Butter and I Can't Take It. So this album is pretty much just Dillon and friends. Some songs it's Dillon and DJ Snake, and then you've got Dillon and Major Lazer. I mentioned those collaborations, and I'm definitely digging the ones that I talked about already. All that kicks off this record, and I got super excited. We've got Twista and the Rejects on this one. It's just a very kind of in-your-face, bumping synth line in the background, some hard electronics smashing in, Twista laying down some awesome rhymes on this one. It's sure a little bit cliched lyrically, of course, it's just kind of trying to jumpstart a party, but whenever you're listening to electronic music like this, you can only expect so much in terms of what lyrical content you're going to get. Although we do have on this track Love in the Middle of a Firefight with Brendon Urie of Panic at the Disco that actually has some substance to it lyrically and very much surprised me in a very good way, that one being one of my favorite tracks on this record. Definitely a big payoff, actually some singing in the chorus instead of just build up, build up, build up, and then boom, 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 boom. There are tracks that actually kind of stick to that formula, not exactly, but of course with the build up, the big synth line, and then actually pay off. Set Me Free is a perfect example of this. Definitely one of my favorite tracks on this thing. Things get a little bit airy there. There's this light synth build up, and then there's the part where it's just the synthesizer before this huge smashing chorus or the bass drop rolls in, and it's absolutely incredible. On the track When We Were Young, which features the Chain Gang of 1974, we have additional production from not only Francis himself, but of course Sultan and Ned Shepard. I thought that that was an interesting track, although the Chain Gang of 1974, their vocalist just can get a little bit dreary. It feels like he's always tired or always a little bit weary, and I think on certain songs it definitely works, like their own track Sleepwalking. Things pay off there because of the instrumentation surrounding it just gave that atmosphere, and I don't know that this track entirely provides that. I am digging it, but only to a certain extent. I don't see this being something that has a really high replay factor for months to come for me. There are some total misfires here on Money Sucks, Friends Rule. The first of those being What's That Spell, a track that features TJR and has some live inclusions in it from like crowd responses. You have Dillon shouting, "Give me an F, give me a U, give me a C, give me a K, what does that spell?" And I find myself kind of cringing and just wanting to skip over that one every time. Decent bass drop on that one and some electronics flying around, but it's pretty standard as far as your dance and house songs go. Definitely sensing some trap influences on this song and all throughout this record. For the most part, it's a good thing. Me and Anthony Fantano have that in common. We Are Impossible featuring the Presets is another one I find myself wanting to skip almost every time. It's just kind of got the bore factor to it. There's not much going on. It's pretty much as basic as you can get. We Are Impossible doesn't even really make sense. The lyrical content, I know you kind of keep it simple, you kind of keep a repeated theme going on over and over again, but it definitely just does not work here. And it happens again on the final track on this record, Hurricane, which features Lily Elise, and on this one, it's just Hurricane getting repeated over and over again, and on some tracks it can be effective, like Get Low when the whistle go, and then this awesome trap beat kind of comes in, huge instrumentation, and it pays off in such a good way. Makes for the best track on the album in my opinion, but on Hurricane things just get repetitive and it turns into a bunch of nonsense. A track that I find kind of silly, but at the same time somewhat entertaining, the Dillon Francis solo track, Not Butter, all about the brand of butter I can't believe it's not butter, and you wouldn't think that it would work, honestly. You kind of have to hear it for yourself. Definitely house influenced on that one. Big payoff once the chorus rolls around. I like the variety that each drop adds, and that's something that Dillon Francis pretty much consistently does throughout this record. That's definitely a good thing. The final track that I will mention is We Make It Bounce featuring reggae artist Stylo G. That seems to be a trend among like dubstep, electronic, house musicians to kind of get a reggae artist on their track. And I'm not saying that it's unoriginal for Dillon Francis to do this, but I think on this track he actually makes it work. I had my hesitations about hearing this one, but it definitely changed my mind. I came around on it. Check the description down below if you'd like to see my favorite and least favorite tracks. Of course, my Facebook, Twitter, and everything like that are in the description as well. For me, this album is a 3.5 out of 5. Don't forget to smash the like button on this video and share the review with a friend if you did enjoy it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see my future reviews. Of course, let me know your thoughts on the debut album from Dillon Francis, Money Sucks, Friends Rule, in the comments section down below. Anything else I'm forgetting to cover? I don't think so. If you want to see me review other stuff, let me know what albums I should talk about in the comment section down below. I'm nervous. I got an interview coming up tomorrow with an artist. You'll see it on Beyond ARTV very soon, so click the link right here to go to that channel and subscribe to make sure you don't miss that, or you can click here and see my last review. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you very soon right here on ARTV, Beyond the Reviews.